You're listening to Where You Live with Gene and Tony.
We're back. This is Gene and Tony. We're at the Patriot booth at the State Fair today at Murphy and Underwood. And by the way, we're going to be here next Sunday as well from 10 to noon. And we'll have more prizes to give away next Sunday, right?
Oh, yes. We have something completely different. In the second hour next week, we have the Extreme Hour.
Oh, the Extreme Hour.
Hour.
All right. All right. Sounds good. Well, today we're doing Are You Smarter Than a Property Manager? And we have a contestant who stepped up to take the challenge, Tom. Thank you for doing that, Tom. Here's your question. Where was the very first condominium created? Was it the United States? Was it England? Was it India? Or was it Puerto Rico in 1958?
It'd be a wild guess because that never really mattered to me when I was planning anything. But I'll just wildly guess Puerto Rico.
Yay!
All right.
Very good. Very good. And Gene, what did Tom win this morning?
Okay. For Tom, we have a card for 5 car washes at Mr. Car Hot Shine.
Wow! Yay! Excellent. What's next, Gene? Do you have a question?
Yes, I do.
Need another
We've got a
contestant to
question.
step
We have
up.
another contestant who would like to take a stab at answering a question and
Come
find out
on,
if
you've
you're
seen-
smarter than a property manager.
You've seen how easy it is to
Who
be
would like
smarter.
to? Just that's Tom is a wise man.
Tom pointed out property managers
Do we
aren't
have
that smart.
another person who's ready to step up for? Here we got a
Do we have
gentleman
someone?
right here.
All right.
Come on, here we go. Good. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
And your name is
Leon.
Leon. Thanks for participating. Now, let me ask you: Do you live in a homeowners association at all?
Yes, I do.
You do.
All right.
Okay.
How long have you lived in an association, Leon?
14 years.
14. So you're experienced. Let me ask you something. Have you ever served on your board of directors?
On 2 boards.
All right. You have.
Okay, so we've got a veteran.
We do have a veteran and a knowledgeable person. So pick a good question for me.
Okay,
Gene.
let me ask this question here, and this is another situation. There's a wheel-bound homeowner who lives on the 3rd floor of a condominium, and the elevator goes out. There's only one elevator. The management company says that they've found the part and repairs can take place, but it won't be for 6 weeks to complete because they have to get the part coming in and it has to be scheduled with the vendor. Who's responsible for finding a suitable temporary home for the handicapped homeowner? Is it A, the association? They are responsible for keeping the property in good working order, and they failed this handicapped homeowner in providing a necessary amenity? Is it B, is it the responsibility of the management company? They're the ones that are involved with overseeing and scheduling the work at the property. C, is it the responsibility of the handicapped homeowner?
I'd say B.
B, the management company.
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. The answer is C.
See, the owner is responsible.
And let's share why. But you stay here. We want you
why?
to wed, Leon. We'll have another one here. But
Let's ask our panel, why is that the case?
Why is that the case?
That the handicapped
Tessa?
homeowner is responsible for finding housing when the elevator went out.
Well, I mean, the homeowner should have an HO6 policy, an insurance policy, and for a healthy homeowner, the elevator going out wouldn't necessarily be an issue because they can use the stairs. But for a handicapped individual, getting to the 3rd floor would be impossible. So their HO6 insurance policy should cover some temporary housing for them.
You bring up a very good point. You should make sure that you speak to your insurance agent about what your needs are. And as Cindy brought up before, make sure your agent sees your governing documents so that they know what's covered, what's not covered, and they can cover you well.
That's right. And one of the purposes of a homeowner's insurance policy is to take care of you in the event that your home is unsuitable for you to live.
That's
And
right.
an elevator being out would be unsuitable for a handicapped person to be able to live.
That's right. I think we need to ask another question.
We need to ask
Yeah.
another one. Go ahead, Tony. You.
I
pull
have
it.
another question for you. Which is a better method of keeping track of homeowner association finances? The cash method, accounting method, or the accrual accounting method? Is one better than the other?
No. Both the same.
That's absolutely right. All right. Yay! And what does he win today, Gene?
Okay, and Leon has won a $25 gift certificate from Target from Suburban Services.
Hey!
Thank you.
How we doing, Jim? We still have a few prizes left?
Yes, we do. We've
right.
got more prizes to give away. Do we have another contestant who would like to try and answer a question? Someone would like to see if you're smarter than a property manager. Who would like to come forward? We've got some great gifts. Who would like to be next?
All
Okay,
right,
we've
all
got
right.
someone.
Yay!
Make it an easy one.
Okay,
And who are you?
I'm Norma.
Hi, Norma. Thanks for stepping up. I'm trying to find a question for you.
One that I can answer.
One that you can answer? Or you want one that you can answer? All right. I'll ask you this, because we actually spoke about this already this hour.
All right. Uh-oh.
The extra insurance that the individual homeowner carries in the homeowners association is called an HO6 policy, or an HO4 policy, or an umbrella policy. Which is it?
Well, mine says HO6.
All right. Very good. Another experienced association member. And
That's
Jean,
right.
what does Norma win today?
let's see. For Norma, we have a $25 gift certificate from Cernix.
All right. Yay. Very
Thank
good.
you for participating. Insurance, wouldn't you guys agree? Insurance is one of those things that becomes a sticky situation for a lot of homeowners.
Every time. And if there's ever anything interior work that needs to be done, people don't understand that that's not necessarily covered by the association, that they need to have their own
That's right.
policy. And the best thing that they can do is when they move in or they're contemplating moving into an association is take a copy of those documents to their insurance agent and say, this is what I'm dealing with, what do I need?
And that you make a great point. That's probably the easiest thing to do. They don't have to take the time to understand it all, but take it to a professional that does. It's the same. I guess I use the analogy. It's like driving a car. I don't know how to fix a car, but I do know how to operate it.
Uh-huh.
And the same thing is true. If you don't, you're right. There are other people that are available to be able to help you out to find out what you need.
And David, I have a question for you. What are deductibles these days for property and liability for the homeowners association? Where are they at right now?
The last few years, deductibles have really changed, and they've really moved up. It used to be years ago you'd have an association deductible between $1,000 and $2,500.
Right.
Now
Right.
we're looking more in the $5,000, $10,000, $15,000 deductible level. So
Wow.
homeowners really need to make sure that their HO6 policy covers their exposure to that. Because
Yep.
the last thing they want is to have some personal obligation if there's a catastrophic loss.
Yeah, very good point. Very good point.
What is it that you guys do as a property manager to also to help someone be able to make sure that they get the proper insurance? What do you do in notifying them or telling them what they need?
Well, every year at a minimum, we send out a mailing to all the homeowners reminding them of the association. And at every annual meeting, I always take 10 minutes to speak on insurance in a public setting to make sure people have an opportunity to ask questions and that I educate them in what they
Yeah.
need for insurance.
Yeah.
It's probably the most important part of living in an association is how is that insurance handled.
It's a great idea to
Yeah.
speak of it at the annual meeting. People make a lot of assumptions about insurance without ever checking it out. So they need to at least know it's an issue.
Yeah, I remember one person who thought they had sufficient
Yeah.
insurance, and they found out very quickly that they didn't even begin to have what they needed,
No.
to cover
Well, and
everything
we
in the
covered a
loss.
story in the past where not only was it inadequate insurance, but the agent had sold the homeowner renter's insurance. because they thought that would be sufficient because it would cover his personal items.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you got to be cautious.
Well, we need to take another quick break. We've got one last segment on the show today. We've got more gifts to give away, and we're asking the question, are you smarter than a property manager? We want you to step up and prove that right here on AM 1280, The Patriot. We'll be back after these messages.